Hey, so have you ever wondered what happens when 400 women, yes, I said 400 women, join together in prayer and celebration instead of all of this hating and the drama for your mama? If so, stick around. In today's video, sisters, we are discussing how impactful it was when over 400 of us, 400 women, joined together in prayer and celebration throughout the Celebrate Her 21-day challenge. You'll finish this video, sis, I'm telling you, feeling refreshed, restored, renewed, and even celebrated yourself. Because let me tell you, it was some blessings, some miracles, and blessings that came out of the Celebrate Her challenge. Okay, before we move on in this video, let me state the obvious. You know that I have been on this natural hair journey. Yes, for those of you who are new to my channel, I'm Dr. G. Call me Gretchen. My pediatric patients call me all the things, and I answer to them all. I'm a general pediatrician. I've been practicing, I think about 16, 17 years now, y'all. I'm knocking 2 decades in pediatrics, and I love my newborn babies, my ear infections, my snotty noses, all the things. That is my jam. But I am here because the Lord gave me celebrating all things you. Because I just spent a lot of my life not celebrating the amazing woman that the Lord created me to be. And guess what? There are so many of us out there in that same boat. And so in this channel, on this video, you will get what you need, girl, to celebrate all things you, so that you can go ahead and fulfill your God-given purpose. Okay, y'all, let's get into it. Okay, so first of all, sister, if you ask God, he will answer you. So let me tell y'all about this. This Celebrate Her challenge has truly blown my mind because, of course, natural hair journey. Now, listen, it ain't hair today. I did not feel like doing my wash and go. I literally just got me some edge control and some grease. Yeah, the old school grease, and made it did what it does. So here we go. But I'm telling you, if you ask God, he will answer you. I literally was sitting down in my dining room, sitting under my portable hair dryer. Yes, I just purchased this portable hair dryer from Amazon. Now it's a little broke, it's a little beat. It works well, but y'all know I broke it trying to move the thing. But anyway, I was sitting under my amazing kind of blemished hair dryer after doing the wash and go, sitting there making sure that hair is dry. Because all my natural sisters, you know, if you manipulate those curls and they are not dry, you are in for a frizz box. Anywho, I was sitting there and I'd prayed and I'd asked the Lord, what do you want me to do for January? I literally was just like, what do you want me to do? And I asked him that, I don't know how long ago, maybe a few days before then, I'm not sure, but I had been seeking him about it. And y'all, let me tell you something. I was sitting there, and then all of a sudden, like a rush of a mighty wind. Okay, maybe I am exaggerating, but all of a sudden, he dropped it on me. And he dropped Celebrate Her. And I was like, oh, okay. And immediately, it's like it was just coming to me in pouring. So I sat down and I wrote everything out. And then I got it to my techie friend who really helps me build all this stuff. I love her. And the 21-day Celebrate Her challenge was born just like that. Man, and we had that thing ready to go 2 weeks before we were ready to go live. I was just mind blown at the goodness of Lord, like for real. And if you need something, if you want God to show you what he wants you to do, just ask him. Invite him in. And I know that for some of you, and you're watching this, you may be feeling like, oh, wow, I never really thought, Lord, what do you want me to do? If you hadn't, I encourage you to ask him. God, what do you want me to do? I think about Jeremiah, and how the Lord had called him to be a prophet to the nations. And he was like, oh, and he had some reservations about that. And y'all have to go and read Jeremiah chapter 1. I read it this morning. And he was like, I'm young. Like, and then God was like, okay, and put his word in Jeremiah's mouth. And so it just truly blessed me, because as I'm pondering and reflecting on how God came through with this Celebrate Her challenge, my mind was blown. But I asked him and he answered me. So I encourage you, sister, if you are struggling in the area and you just don't know what to do, just simply ask the Lord. Now, it wasn't no big pomp and circumstance. I journal and I journal out my prayers. Shout out to Priscilla Shira in Fevering. So I journal out my prayers, and I started doing that years ago. Now I've stepped it up to another level, and I'll talk about that in a future YouTube video. Anywho, I just asked. And that simple ask, he was like, okay, well, let me tell you what I want you to do. And it blessed my socks off. So sis, if you ask him, he will tell you exactly what he wants you to do. Now, don't be surprised if you have some feelings of inadequacies or you feel incapable of this thing. I feel you, been there, done that. Who am I to be leading over 400 women in a 21-day Celebrate Her challenge, where we are praying and celebrating other women? Who am I? Right? And that's just what Jeremiah was saying. And I mean, I feel that thing 100%. But when God has called you, he will equip you. Just like he told Jeremiah, he touched his mouth with his hand and was like, hey, I have put my word in your mouth. And so what I realized through all of this is that ask him. And when he tells you what he wants you to do, you may feel a certain type of way about that. You may feel scared. You may feel anxious. You may be feeling like, I cannot do this, Lord. And you may even be saying, wait a minute, I'm way outside my lane on this. What you talking about? I am a general pediatrician. That's who I am. That's who he called me to be. I'm a wife. I'm a mother. I'm a busy working mama. And who am I to be on this YouTube channel talking about celebrating all things you? I'm his child. And he called me and he chose me. And just like me, he has called you and he has chosen you too. So, girl, just ask him, get your notebook out and be ready to write and receive, and acknowledge the fact that you're human and you may feel like, woo, child. But God is with us. He is going to partner with you in that thing, and he will equip you to push forward in what you need to do. That's exactly what he did for me. And I'm so thankful. Okay, on to the next point. Point 2. I really, truly understood what it means to live out Genesis 8:22, seed, time, and harvest. The seed that you plant will be the harvest that you receive. In this 21-day challenge, we were sowing the seed of prayer. We were sowing the seed of the word of the Lord. And let me tell y'all, man, there were some days that I was praying for other people, but I was tired and I was struggling. This was like one of the most unselfish things I think any of us can do as women and girls, is to be intentional about praying for another sister. Y'all, let me tell you, there was some days where I was just exhausted. I'd had some emotional days in work. Um, man, I could go on and on. But there were some days where I was just tired, and I looked down at my phone and I got a text message from one of my sisters. And when I tell you, it just really lifted my spirits. And throughout this challenge, what the Lord was teaching me and what he showed me is that put out what you need. And to be honest with you, I didn't even really know I needed it at that time, but I was praying for another sister and other sisters for their strength. And I had a sister turn that thing right back on me, and it was really what I needed at the time. So, y'all, I'm just thinking about how absolutely amazing this thing was. Because what God showed me in this is that He is real. So, sis, He is real. I need you to understand that He's real. You put out what you need. You put out in the atmosphere what you want to come back to you. You put out a smile, you'll get a smile. Okay, guys, hold on. It's my hubby calling. Hold that thought. Okay, guys, sorry about that. That was my husband. And of course, y'all know I was going to answer that phone. Again, this channel is about celebrating all things you, and most of you demographics. You're busy working mamas like me. You may not be a mother. You may not be married, but you're a woman and you have dreams and you have goals and you have visions. And maybe you've been knocked down a time or two in your life and you want to align your life in a way that honors your faith as well as go on and do what God called you to do. But anywho, that was my boo, and I'm gonna go ahead and finish recording because we about to go to the gym. All right, so let's get down to this third point, and here it is. There are miracles on the other side of your surrender. Can I say that one more again? There are miracles on the other side of your surrender. Whew, this one blew my mind. And I didn't realize what would happen when I surrendered my list to the Lord. Because I had a list of names that I was going to pray for and contact. But one of the ladies in the challenge, she made a comment on one of our social media posts, and she was like her safe list. And I got to thinking about that thing, and I was like, you know what? True, true. I asked you, Lord, what you wanted me to do for January, but I can't necessarily say I prayed about who you wanted me to pray for day to day. And so what I started doing was praying and asking him who he wanted me to pray for, who he wanted me to reach out to via voice message, text message, chat, whatever, how he wanted me to do it, just who is the person. Y'all, and if I can just tell you this quick testimony. I did not realize that I was harboring an offense or offense. I'm a country girl. Y'all excuse me. It is what it is. Um, toward one of the ladies that the Lord brought on my mind. She wasn't on my list, if I can be completely transparent. Again, my list was safe, but I was praying and he brought her on my mind earlier that morning. But in the hustle and bustle, I was thinking, maybe that's me and not him. And then went to work. You know how it is, busy days. And I went to the store afterwards, right? Ran into a sister at the store, and she started telling me a story about who the Lord had her reach out to. And I was like, oh. And it's like that woman's name popped in my head. And what I usually do is I will literally sit down, open up my phone, and send a voice message because I felt like it was more personal than a text message. So most of the people I reached out to, that's how I did it. But in my heart, I knew I needed to not only contact her, but I needed to call her, not record a message and send it to her, but call her. Whew. And I didn't realize that I had been harboring an offense or offense against her, but I had. And in that moment, I knew that the Lord was dealing with my heart because I called her and I had a conversation with her. And I even remember saying how I felt like she had thrown me under the bus. And we had a very nice conversation. And I felt free and I felt at peace after I had gotten off the phone with her because it was at that moment that I realized that all of this time I have been harboring No offense. Like I was feeling some type of way, even though I tried to sweep it under the rug. But God knew what was in my heart. So that was a miracle to me. Whew. Maybe you don't know about the Celebrate Her challenge, and this whole thing is new to you, and celebrating all things new is new to you. But I will tell you, whatever you are doing, whatever it is, make sure you surrender it to Him. Surrender it, because I promise you, you're going to see blessings and miracles on the other side of it. Not only did that happen during the challenge, there's another thing that happened during the challenge. For me, the miracle of restoration happened because I had a former coworker that the Lord led me to reach out to, and I had no intent on reaching out to her whatsoever. But when I did, I said, okay, God. Didn't think she would respond. But less than 24 hours later, she responded, and it was so sweet and it was so kind. Boom. The miracle of restoration. There is miracles, there is blessings on the other side of your surrender. Hmm. Hear me when I say it is so. In summary, I hope this has blessed you. I hope that you really find it upon yourself to not only celebrate you, but celebrate those amazing women around you. And in the process of it, remember that God, if you ask Him, He will answer. If you just invite Him in that thing, He will definitely show you what to do. And then number two, put out what you want. So if you want to smile, give a smile. If you want to be friendly, if you want to be a friend, be friendly to those around you. If you want love, show love, right? And then number three, surrender it all to Him. Whew, the one thing I am learning to do is in my whole heart, learn how to live a surrendered life before Him. Because as I surrender, He has really blown my mind with so many miracles and blessings. And He wants to do the same for you. Okay. Y'all, hopefully this has been a blessing to you. If so, I hope that you will like and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. And I pray nothing but God's miracles and blessings for you. I also pray that as you learn how to celebrate the amazing woman that you are, that you will also spread love and celebrate those around you. Have a wonderful day. Talk to you later. Bye now.